to fuel the cars. There's a new membrane effectively that seals the internal part of the fuel cell to the outside of the chassis of the carbon fiber tub, and they're not sealing very well, and there's a membrane in there that is kind of flexing, and it just sometimes doesn't allow the fuel to go into the tank. Probably doesn't vent. The system doesn't vent when the fuel goes in. The air doesn't come out cleanly, and you just really don't know how much fuel has gone in until after the pit stop is made. It's messy.
I know. I mean, that's the problem, and it's a new car. You know, it's a new car. So as we were saying, you know, all the teams got actually the cars quite late, and they've all focused, and they've all worked really hard and really well, trying to figure out the car, how to make it faster, the setup of the car, you know, making sure it was reliable. You know, just there was a lot of work done in the pre-season testing, but there are still things that you don't think about, or you know, that it's a first race and will have to be improved, like the fuel cell. You know, it's one of those things that until you get to the race, actually, you don't really know, you know, if it's going to work or not, and that's the problem they're having right now.
Yeah, and everybody knew that coming into this weekend. Most of the guys have made it work okay, but certainly a couple of problems up and down pit lane, and as you say, with a brand new race car, you've got to expect those sort of things. But here is this battle for the lead. It is Alex Tagliani. He's only got one win before in his career, and he's pumped this weekend. I was talking to him last night. He was sitting there relaxed in his new surroundings, and he's really enjoying having Justin Wilson as a teammate. Last 2 or 3 years, first at Rocket Sports and then at Team Australia the last couple of years, working with rookie drivers, and now he's working with Justin Wilson and making full benefit of that, using the extra experience that Justin has to you know, to work with the engineers and get the most out of these cars.
It does make a huge difference, you know, when it's two experienced guys working together. I mean, you know, when you're a rookie, you can be fast or as fast. When I was 18, I think I was as fast or as slow as I am now.
Well, I can tell you, talking about what happened with Paul Tracy, I got some thumbs up confirmation here at Team Australia that Will Power did indeed take a full load of fuel. Thumbs up all the way around. I can also tell you they're working feverishly on the system this morning before they came out to race.
Yes, they were indeed, and as I said before, both of the Team Australia cars, the crews were working. They worked long into the night. They were there till about 1 o'clock this morning. Most of the teams were working very, very late. I think actually the R-Sports guys were about the first team to leave the garage area last night. That was at 11:30 at night. A lot of these teams were up until 2 o'clock in the morning, including Team Australia, and also the Forsyth Championship Racing team working on the car of Mario Dominguez. And then they were back, most of them, about 5 or 6 this morning. So very little sleep, some of these teams. They're just doing everything they possibly can to minimize the chance of having a problem in the race this afternoon.
Yeah, and we see Power, our former leader, putting a lot of pressure on Catherine. And I mean, eventually, I think he's going to pass her. I mean, his fastest lap is, you know, a second and a half faster than hers. So it's just a matter of time.
It certainly is. But Tagliani leads, and we hear from the pit lane that he's been told by Paul Gentilozzi, the team owner, to conserve fuel. Don't use too much fuel. I don't think he'll be able to reach the end of this race. He still has 43 minutes to go without making another pit stop. But if he can just make a quick splash of fuel towards the end, yeah, that might be enough for Tagliani. So he's pacing himself right now. Last time around, a 1:23.4. His best lap of the race, a 1:22.0. The fastest lap of the race, set by Neil Jani at 1:21.3. So we see pretty much the whole field lapping within just over 1 second from top to bottom on this field. So they're very, very closely matched. Get down to the pit lane one more time. Or not. Tagliani pulled out a little bit over Simon Pagenaud that time around. Let's have a look at the relative lap times as they come across to complete lap 37. And there goes Tagliani at a 1:22.6, so a good bit quicker than he had been going the last few laps. 23s he'd been doing for the last 3 or 4 laps had Alex Tagliani. There he goes, a 1:22.6, so within a half a second of his best lap of the race. Pulls out a goodly margin, and now the gap between himself and Pagenaud, 1.4 seconds. Looking back down the road, Tristan Gomendy in 3rd place, about 7 seconds behind our race leader, with whom we are watching right there going into turn 3.
Just spoke to Paul Gentilozzi, who informed me that the leader, Alex, has 44 seconds on Power to pass it. Their strategy right now is saving fuel.
Thanks, Michelle Beiser down on pit lane there with the R Sports team, and she's telling us that Tagliani has 44 seconds of the Cosworth Power to pass left for this race. Our scoring system here is showing that he's used it all, and I must admit I saw that earlier on and I wondered whether he'd used it all, because there didn't seem to be too many opportunities to have used all that power to pass. That could be a bit of a glitch there on our timing system. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I guess we won't know whether he's going to be able to use it anymore. And here now is a look back to the battle for fourth place, with Catherine Legg holding off this man Will Power.
Yeah, she's doing actually her best laps of the race right now, and you know, she's just at 22.7, and it's just enough to hold him behind. So she's doing good. I mean, you can tell the way she's driving that, you know, she's driving very focused. Last year as a rookie, you know, she made a few mistakes. You know, she made some mistakes, but they are expected. You know, as a rookie, I see her a lot better prepared this year.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you were a teammate last year, Oriole, and you saw how she came in. I mean, she had terribly little experience coming into last season. Yes, she'd done a full season of Atlantic the previous year, during which she'd won 3 races, but that was her very first full season of racing. So when she came in last year, yeah, a little bit raw, but she was quick on occasion, wasn't she? But we'll come back to that in a minute. We've got 38 laps in the books, 40 minutes to go here in Vegas.
Is in the pit. He will be able to go the rest of the distance if indeed they get a full tank. You can see he's getting a hit from a stick behind there to let him know that they've got a full tank, a full dump. Jimmy Vassar, one of the team owners here at PKV, saying they will be able to go all the way to the finish from here.
No doubt about it, they will be able to go to the end of here. There goes Bruno Junqueira. I think that was down to the inside, but look at that. These two positions, they've changed, haven't they? I think it's now Simon Pagenaud has got out of the pits ahead of Alex Tagliani, so a great stop it would appear for Team Australia there. The Aussie Vineyards car number 15, the reigning Atlantic champion, Simon Pagenaud. He's 22 years of age, lives nowadays in Indianapolis, from France, of course, and now he's not in the lead of the race because we've got different people on different strategies, but great work by him, great work by Walker Racing Team Australia, and as you can see, right behind him now is Alex Tagliani, and right before those pit stops, those positions were reversed.
That is very difficult. What we're seeing now, I believe it's one of the most difficult things as a driver we get to do, which is out of the pits on cold tires and trying to push as much as you can. And he's a rookie. This is the things you need. You just need races. Even if you're a great driver, you need experience. And you see Tag has a little more experience and was able to pass him on cold tires.
Indeed he was. And you know, Tagliani's got 117 races under his belt, and good heads-up driving from both of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's very difficult to not make a mistake and keep pushing on cold tires. You never know. You're guessing where the limit of the tire is for 2-3 laps, and you know, sometimes you feel you're going too slow and you just try a little more and you're in the wall. So Pagenaud, I think, is doing the right thing. It's better to be a little cautious for him in these first races until he really is able to feel the tires.
We're hearing he might have a bit of a problem. Perhaps the engine has gone off song for Simon Pagenaud, and can we hear it there? Yeah, clearly he's not making any ground as he down the straight, so it seems to have gone wrong for Simon Pagenaud. What a shame. He's done a fabulous job this weekend, the rookie driver from France, the reigning Atlantic champion, but it looks now that he has some sort of problem, clearly not up to speed as he goes around the section of corners that go around the Golden Nugget Hotel here in downtown Las Vegas. And while it's all going wrong, it would appear for Simon Pagenaud, his teammate Will Power is out in the lead of this race once again. Will Power leads by 5 seconds now over Robert Dornbosch from Minardi Team USA, and Dornbosch has just turned the fastest lap of the race at a 1:20.751. That's a stunning pace.
I mean, I'm very surprised. I mean, I know he's a good driver, but he's doing great for a rookie, being that quick. He's second, and as you said, he just did the fastest lap of the race.
Robert Dornbosch, he's also the test driver for the Red Bull Formula 1 team. There we see Pagenaud pulling off onto the pit lane, and he's going to hope they can make some sort of a change onto the to that whatever has gone wrong with, we would presume, the electronics on that car. But he's clearly not up to full speed, and it's a shame because he was just doing a wonderful job, and a great service by Team Australia got him into, well, not necessarily into the lead, but into a position to come up with a good finish. Turn off.
You can see they're getting work going immediately on the back of Simone Pagenaud's car. We're going to be moving over towards Derek Walker and Rob Edwards to try to get an update here in just a second and find out where they're going. And we're listening to the radio right now as well, boys.
We just got a problem with the engine. We need to fix it, okay?
That was Rob Edwards there, the team manager, former very accomplished engineer in his own right. 10-4 says Simon, he's a very cool customer. You've got to be so disappointed.
Here at the moment, so before we restart you, we're going to need to remember to get you back into neutral.
Happy neutral.
So again, that was Rob Edwards there, the team manager for Team Australia, and back on the other end of that team here is Will Power in the lead of the race, and he too now is down in the 1 minute 20s, 1:20.806 I should say for Will Power last time around, maintaining that gap just under 5 seconds now between Power and Dornbosch, and we're expecting Robert Dornbosch to be onto pit lane fairly soon. Neil Jarni in the first of the PKV cars, the Red Bull car, in third place. Bruno Junqueira in fourth, ahead of Paul Tracy, Tagliani, Gomendi, Catherine Legg, and then Simon Pagenaud is shown in ninth place now, but in the pit lane. And Alex Figge has made a slightly unscheduled stop a few laps ago, running in 10th place at the moment, ahead of Mario Dominguez, who's also had a long pit stop.
Yeah, we see the first.
There goes Dornbosch on.
I was going to say the first 4 cars have not pitted yet, and everybody else has. And Power has like 40 seconds advantage to Tagliani, who's the first car that has stopped already. Actually, Tracy now.
Down here,
so
guys,
I think after the stop, we'll be
having a great run today. Again, the fuel cell situation. Team Minardi has actually stationed somebody up on the wall to make sure that that fuel filler begins to bubble. That indicates that that fuel cell is completely full. But as you can see, these gas stops are taking a little longer than normal. It seems like an eternity. The tires have already been changed, and he's away.
That certainly seemed like a little long. Generally speaking, to come in and out to make a pit stop, it takes about 40 seconds. Cameron is down in the pits of this PKV team, waiting for Neil Jarni, who I believe stayed out one more time, as did this man, Will Power, our race leader. Faster again that time around for Will Power, 1:20.481. So again, resets the fastest lap of the race, and this is the time to make your mark, isn't it, Oriel, before you make your final pit stop?
Exactly, because he's going to stop and go out in cold tires in front of the other guys. I think he has enough of an advantage that he's still going to have a little caution and be able to, not have to risk too much on his outlap. But definitely, if you can, put a couple more seconds now, it's the time to do it.
And he stayed out one more time, did Will Power. I reckon, I was told this morning by some of the engineers on pit lane, it takes about 40 seconds to peel off, make a pit stop, and rejoin the racetrack. And his lead right now over Paul Tracy, who's currently in 5th, with Jarni, Junqueira, and Dornbosch in between them. Or Dornbosch is just making his stop. But he's about 40 seconds ahead of that bunch is Will Power, and that's about the time it'll take to come in and make his final pit stop. So that is why he has been told by his team to put that hammer down, turn a couple of quick laps, make that pit stop, and get back out, hopefully in the lead.
That's 40 seconds when everything goes smooth. We've seen today that, those fuel stops are taking a little longer than usual. Wow, that's an amazing lap Power just did, 19.9. He's doing exactly what we're talking. He's just pushing as much as he can right now, because these laps are, are the ones that may give him the win.
1:19.934. That is incredible. That's almost a second quicker than anybody else has done so far in this race. I think it is actually more than a second quicker than everybody. No, I lied. 22. Well, it's close to it. Anyhow, he's absolutely flying. Is Will Power. He's just done a wonderful job this weekend. 26 years of age is Will Power from Toowoomba in Queensland, Australia. He got his first pole in Surfers Paradise towards the end of last season. Now he pulls onto pit lane. Cameron Steele is in the Team Australia pit, waiting for Will Power to bring this car in for what they hope will be a clean and final pit stop of the afternoon. Cameron Steele, look at a bit of a lock up there, down to the 50-mile-an-hour limit. Let's listen.
You're running great. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Right on the markers.
Whoa, no, he's made a mistake coming coming into the pit lane as Will Power locked him up there, Oriel, and what a costly error that is.
Went a little too hard. Sometimes, I mean, by the rules, if you touch one of your crew members, you get a penalty. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be borderline. It wasn't too bad. Obviously, just tried to come a little too quick in. It's going to be very tight.
Yes, it is.
Let's see where Tracy is. He's going to come up just in front of Tracy.
Wow.